We want X-Men. We want X-Men. Or how about a dick joke instead? Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Paul, aka Ralph Bohner, gonna put you in a coma. In this video we're breaking down both credit scenes from the finale of Wandavision. The pair set up a lot of things in the MCU, and throughout this video we'll be discussing how they can be taken and what they imply for the future. Full spoilers ahead, so if you haven't seen the episode then I'll recommend that you turn off now. If you enjoy the video then please drop a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe to the channel for breakdowns like this each and every day. With that out of the way, thank you for clicking this. Now let's get into those two scenes. Okay, so the first one picks up almost immediately after Wanda flies out of Westview. In the town centre, Jimmy is directing FBI agents so that they can provide medical and psychological attention to the citizens who've been stuck in an episode of Father Knows Best for the last week. Due to Monica's comments on authority looking good on him, I'm guessing that Wu has been put in charge of cleanup, and because of his work in Westview, he'll probably be moving up the pole. Now juxtaposing this, Hayward will probably have a pole moving up him because he's going to jail. Is that the best jokes we've got? Yeah, me. Anyway, at this point Monica has fully become Photon and she now possesses superpowers which have clearly caught the attention of someone else. This special agent calls Wanda to the theatre, which is showing a film called Tannhauser Gate. Now this is actually a callback to Blade Runner, namely Roy Batty, who discussed the things he'd witnessed as he was dying. The character stated, "I've watched sea beams glitter in the dark near the Tannhauser Gate." Now this actually foreshadows the journey that Monica will be going on, but we'll get into that more in just a bit. The name Tannhauser actually refers to a knight from German folklore who had to journey into the underworld to find a pagan queen, much like how Monica had to travel into the Hex to find the Scarlet Witch. Yes, we're reaching. Inside, the agent transforms into a Skrull, and unfortunately it isn't Talos' daughter, who was friends with her in Captain Marvel. However, she brings an important mission, and the character says that she's been sent by an old friend of Monica's mother. Now this could apply to Talos or Nick Fury, but I'm siding more with the latter for a number of reasons. Firstly, Fury is with the Skrulls at the end of Far From Home, and they're journeying through space. The film actually takes place 8 months after this show, so it seems like he may have met with Monica and then they travelled out into the vastness of the stars in order to complete a mission. During this time, Talos was of course masquerading as Fury, and therefore it makes sense that he selected him to stay on Earth whilst he and Monica journeyed into the cosmos. We know that Monica will be featuring in Captain Marvel 2, and as we discovered in Endgame, she's policing a lot of planets throughout the universe. Now this episode pretty much confirmed through the Darkhold that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not canon in the MCU. Therefore, if we stick with the main timeline, then they were disbanded after the Winter Soldier. Thus, Fury has probably been looking for a new agency to work with, and this will likely be S.W.O.R.D. In both the comics and MCU, it's clear that they dealt with space matters, and it's only after the events of the Snap that the latter version changed direction. With their acting director no longer being an acting director, I think that S.W.O.R.D. will be travelling back to the stars, and they will be led by Monica, who has filled her mother's shoes. The S.W.O.R.D. logo on her uniform is clearly there for a reason, and who knows, they might even meet Daisy, who too travelled into space after Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Look, I'm begging you. I'm begging. Please just make it canon. Now cut to the second post-credit scene, and we travel to what I believe is Wundagore Mountain. More like Wonderboard Mountain. Am I right? No. Now why I believe that this is the case is because of the Darkhold. It was actually in a chamber known as the Darkhold in this very mountain that Chthon wrote his book of black magic, The Darkhold, and this is a Paramount possession that ties heavily into the series. Though I rode that Mephisto train until me and Eric Voss were the last passengers on it, I've actually gone on to think that Chthon is the true one behind it all. In the comics, he was actually the being that bestowed Wanda's powers upon her when she was a young girl, and as we learned in episode 8, she was always a witch even in this continuity. The fact he also wrote the book ties in heavily to this, and the villain possessed Quicksilver in the comics, much like how Agatha possessed Ralph Bohner. I don't know why I'm laughing at that. What a troll that was. Now speaking of boners, we catch Wanda getting a bit of morning glory in the cabin that's surrounded by runes. Honestly, I don't know why I'm laughing at it. I'm 32, right? And I shouldn't be finding the word boner that funny, but never mind. Now, she strolls back inside, and it's revealed that her Scarlet Witch version is on the astral plane, reading through the Darkhold. It's at this point that she hears the voices of her children, who are still clearly out there. Now what does this mean? Well, there's a number of ways you can take it. Either the Dark Lord Chthon has manifested them as a trick to make Wanda delve deeper into the book, or they're trapped in the astral plane. This is a sort of afterlife, and it could be where the spirits have gone. In Doctor Strange, we saw the titular character doing a similar sort of thing to what plays out here, and therefore we can shut down the idea that there are now two Wandas. I feel like they're going on a sort of Dark Phoenix trip here, with the alter ego within her being something that could potentially turn to the dark side and destroy the world. However, she always has Agatha to turn to, and she will likely become a mentor to the character, similar to what she is in the comics. As for her children, they scream out for help and sound in pain, so it makes sense that Wanda would try and track them down. Now we know going forward that the character will be appearing in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and it's likely that her trying to bring them back is what causes things to go haywired. Like Hayward. Terrible. Anyway, shout out to Andrew Lomax on Twitter for pointing out that we never actually see the kids vanish, and that someone could have snuck in there and took them out before the hex closed. However, I think something different, and I believe that Wanda will try and manifest her children through the Darkhold, but in doing so, she'll also bring forward a dark entity. In the comics, both Billy and Tommy were originally extensions of Mephisto's soul, and they were used as a way to bring the villain to Earth. However, our heroes managed to stop him. The kids disappeared in the process, much in the same way that they did at the end of the series, but they have returned to the comics now as fully fledged characters. I know I've touched upon this in other videos, but just in case you missed them, the pair did post photos showing that they were in London during the time that Doctor Strange 2 was being filmed, and therefore it's a safe bet that they will return. Going ahead, there's also the White Vision, who is still out there. In the episode it looked like he was going to go all Terminator 2 on everybody, but Vision managed to get through to him and restore his memories. This included his life with Wanda before the snap, and he said, "I am Vision," before flying off. Now the character is still alive, and he will likely be the person that has to rein Wanda in from going off the deep end. I'm kind of torn on this, as I do feel pretty much everyone who dies in the MCU eventually gets brought back, and I did want some real consequences from Infinity War. Wanda said goodbye to the memory of Vision in the finale, and it seems like we're kind of going back on things, just allowing him to return. However, I love Paul Bettany and do want to see Vision more, so I suppose it is a get out of jail free card that I can live with. These really feel like Marvel's first family to me now, and though that's typically the Fantastic Four, I feel like they've slotted into the role really nicely and would love to see Wanda bring them back. Now obviously I'd love to hear your thoughts on the post-credit scene, so make sure you comment below and let me know. As a thank you for interacting with the video, you'll be entered into a prize drawn on the 31st of March, in which we're giving away 3 copies of a Marvel 4K box set of your choice. All you have to do to be on the chance of winning is like the video, make sure you subscribe with notifications on, and drop a comment below with your thoughts on the post-credit scenes. The winners of last month's competition are on screen right now, so if that's you, then message me on Twitter at Heavy Spoilers. If you want something else to watch, then make sure you check out our full breakdown of episode 9, which will be linked on screen right now. We've gone over the entire thing from top to bottom, so it's definitely worth checking out if you want to know more. With that out of the way, thank you for sitting through this. I've been Paul, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.